you get the crystal lights or the crystal bed longer hard case for the tripod and light bar and some other accessories, you're going to find that it has 4 lockdowns. These can be locked by turning each one of these to the horizontal position. When they're in the vertical position, they are allowed to pop up. And it has a positive stop in the vertical position, so you don't have it flopping down on you. In this particular instance, we're having this set up for a crystal light system, and the first thing that you're going to notice is that you have some protective foam in here, the crystal lights bar control box here, and the light bar, and then there's a tripod underneath here. In this particular instance, we've already mounted crystals inside holders. It depends on your system setup, things like that. And so with this one, we turn this upside down, and it's going to sit on the protective foam, and these pieces are going to lay in between these areas. You can set this aside. The next piece that we're going to grab is the light bar. Now the light bar itself, if you only grab one arm, it's going to come up with one arm. So you take both arms and just pull it out. You can see there is protective foam in between the 2 arms, and that is good so we keep it from getting all scratched up. This piece that plugs into place is just going to sit right in here. So again, that just drops in. And I'm going to take some of this foam out so we can see what's going on right now. And there might be some fine tuning from video to video, from box to box, but this is a majority of what's happening. With the vocal holders, they actually go all the way in until some of them are touching the light bar. You don't have to have all of them touching the light bar, but you do need the last ones on the ends to do that because they are a little bit longer. So that's the only way to get these into the case. You may be able to maneuver it like this, but if you did that, then you wouldn't be able to put this in. So at least with this particular one, it needs to sit all the way down. With this one, you can get away with doing this. And matter of fact, you could do that with all of these. There's nothing in this area that's going to be in the way. It's just in this area right here where we want to make those snug. And so if you are having a bad day or something, and these pieces pop out, there's a wrench on the bottom of this particular one that will pop it back in. Otherwise, you can pop these back in with a lot of brute force, just snapping them back together, and you haven't broken it. And so on this one, we have some foam which is going to set the light bar a little bit higher off these. And again, this is the wrench. This is an option on this particular model. It came with it. Here's a power supply for this particular one. It depends on the unit. You may have something this big or you may have something smaller. You'll have replacement rubber O-rings that the crystals sit in. And on this one, there's a special cable that you wouldn't be getting. Here is a power cable for that power supply. Over here, there is a eye bag, eye pillow. Again, this is a special option. And the crystals. And so when we pull the crystals out, they just come right out. They're sitting in a lot of cotton, which is protecting the tips. To get the tripod out, it's just going to come right out. So to put it back in, you see we kept the foam on the top. There's one without foam and there's one with foam. So, or two with foam rather. So, you know, when you're putting this back in, these feet wobble around a lot and they're going to need to be more or less up to make it easy. You can see this sits in here, and that's when it's fully compact. If something is not set up right, you're not going to get it in. So double check that your feet are closed up and things like that. You can put this in upside down as so. So this piece here is sticking up, and actually that might be a preferable way to do that. It may give you a little bit more room when it comes time to getting that light bar in place. And so I'm finagling this a little bit, wiggling it back and forth, and you're going to be doing the same thing. Once again, everything's folded up. When you put this in place, just be conscious that you have crystals in here and try not to knock them. And you would put the foam in between everything first. I'm not, to show you what it's looking like. And so there you have it. When it's all said and done, you're just going to close this down and latch those latches. So there you go.